Hi, everyone. How are you? I'm so happy to be here today. Thank you so much for coming. And let's just go live in one more place. Doop. There we go. Hey, everyone. So today I wanted to come on and talk a little bit about what it's like for trance channeling and what it's like to be a trance channel, which of course I am. I'm Rachel Chamness at soundwavesheal.com. And I do help people learn how to trance channel, trance heal, and do just any kind of channeling that there is, because I really believe that channeling is not only our birthright, something that we're supposed to learn, but that it's a really big part of our lives, and it should be. We should be able to channel information from our guides. It doesn't have to be trance channeling, but if you learn how to trance channel, well, then it makes all the other channeling so much easier, because as you work on channeling, you work on um, I just realized this says 11. Okay, sorry. I got distracted by I don't even know if I'm live on the right one. Well, I'm sure it's fine. Anyway, as you work on trance channeling, you're working at the highest type of channeling. Trance channeling is where you go the deepest and you allow these beings to come into your body and speak through you. And if you can do that, then all the other channeling, relay channeling, which is repeating, or channeled writing, or any other kind of channeling that there is very easy. And I believe that this is our birthright. This is what we are supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be able to bring our spirit guides closer to us and be able to bring their messages through. It's really important that we do. And we may not be wanting to do it for other people, giving other people their information or their channels, but we need to be able to do it for ourselves. And that's what's really important. So when I talk about trance channeling and channeling, I believe it's everyone's birthright. We should all be doing it. We should all learn how to do it. And I know that the idea sometimes can be scary. What is trance channeling? Like, what does it feel like to have someone speaking through you? I know that some people worry that if they do a trance channel, that they won't be able to get the being out. It's like, once I let this being step into my auric field, my body, and speak through me, what if I want it to stop? And I can't get them to get out. Well, that's never going to happen when you're working with your spirit guides. Now, if it's an entity or a negative spirit, it could be. And that's the other fear, right? Well, what if I trance channel and the being that I'm trance channeling is negative? So that could be very scary. So instead of worrying about that, what you should do is learn how to do it in a really safe manner. So the way that I teach trance channeling is with a lot of protection and safety. And what I believe about protection and safety is that we have a lot of guides and helpers, lots of angels especially, who are here to help us safely do our light worker work. So even though you're a bright light, it doesn't mean that you have to be psychically challenged or negative attacked, psychic attack. It doesn't have to happen. It doesn't have to be something that happens over and over. It doesn't have to be something that defines your life. If you know how to channel and you know how to stay clear, then it should be pretty easy to stay clear and to bring in what you know as your spirit guides. So when I teach trance channeling, I start at the very beginning. We start with our guides, getting to know our guides. It's a live class, and I help you by knowing who you're channeling, by holding the space for you. And there's prerequisite of Reiki 1 that really does help you hold your vibration very high and keep you very safe. And we go through many safety things. So again, I believe that you need protection until you don't. So until you understand how to manage your energy and you have the discernment to know what is positive, what is negative, and be able to see through that and to have that kind of vibrational stability, until you have that vibrational stability where you know you're always protected and you're totally fine, then it's good to have extra protective measures. And so I do teach a ton of protective measures because I understand that, it can be scary, this idea of trance channeling. So again, trance channeling is when you allow this being to speak through your body. And it's different than regular channeling or relay channeling, where you receive the message and then speak it to the person. For instance, I'm hearing that you need to blah, 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 or, what's really happening is this. So I do a lot of relay channeling. Like, if I'm talking to you, I'm like, oh, there's a past life we need to clear. That's relay channeling, right? I have channeled the message. I see that there's a past life that needs to be cleared, or I hear it from your guides. And so now I'm telling you about it. So now that we can clear it, right? So that's relay channeling. And like I said, once you can trance channel, you can really bring in all the other types of channeling. So when I teach channeling, I teach 6 types of channeling. We trance channel in every class, but we also work on trance healing, which is my favorite, where you bring forth healing from the guide, which I'll demonstrate for you today. And also channeled writing. We do channeled symbols, things like that, and relay channeling, and also divination. I think divination is really important because you want to be able to use tools in your channeling work, because sometimes you may need something that's outside of your mind. So sometimes, not sometimes, but when you channel, these beings often come and use your brain and your thoughts, and sometimes they bring through something just wacky, crazy. You would never have thought of it. You would never have said it. It just comes from nowhere, and it's not in your brain at all, but they still have to use your words. And I like to use oracle cards sometimes because it can also bring in new information, something that's the other side of what I'm talking about. So if I'm giving a channel and I'm telling you all the things they're telling me, but I pull a card and it says something else, something different, something more that we want to come in, then that can be very interesting. Now, why would I need that if I can see and hear already? Well, because it could come from another guide that I'm not very close to, who's giving me information and can only get to me through my cards. So what you're channeling is your guides. Even when you're bringing forth channeling from someone else, you are often using your guide to translate that message and give it to you, usually a joy guide. But you can learn to bypass your joy guide and channel your client's message. I do teach that in my advanced classes. However, this is how channeling is working. So I'm bringing you through messages, what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, and then I may choose a card. This is coming from a message from a guide I'm not um, getting messages so clearly from. So they're giving me that message, and then my guides expand. Or once I pull that card and get the message, now I'm more connected to whoever that guide is, and now he's giving me more information. So that's another way that can work. Of course, I also use a pendulum. I love using a pendulum. It takes a lot of practice. You got to learn 0 point energy. If you've ever learned, to use a pendulum, and I am teaching a pendulum, advanced pendulum class. Oh, it's 101 next month in December, and you can join. It's a TAG class. So of course, if you're in TAG, it's free. There's also a coupon in 5D Daily and in my TAG memberships. But you have to really learn to get 0 point energy. You got to be able to rise above your thoughts and your opinions and get the right message. So sometimes using a pendulum for yourself can be very tricky, but using it for other people can be easier when you learn to clear your mind. And you can use a pendulum for so many things. And if you take my class, you'll learn it. Or if you've taken it by video, if you're one of my Reiki students or you're in TAG, then you already know I teach all kinds of things in that. And I also teach them in the course, the TAG Trance course. So there's many ways that you can channel. I think they all go together, and I teach them all together. So today, what I wanted to do is kind of tell you a little bit of what it feels like to trance, teach you a little bit about spirit guides and all the different beings that you can trance in my course. And why am I talking about this is because I don't know if you've seen it, because I haven't really announced it yet, but I started to put it up. If you've been on my site, it's one of my Black Friday deals, $600 off the trance channeling package. And then I have another Black Friday deal too, the manifesting advancement package. So those will be out in an email today, and I should hopefully by tomorrow get it all up on my website and everything, but you may have seen it. And I'll talk about that later, but I just want to show you about trance channeling. What is it like to trance channel? What does it feel like? When I trance channel, it feels very strange. So I'm basically stepping back my own spirit and letting the spirit of my spirit guide, whom I know well and I know is safe and I know the difference. And so, it's all by discernment ability, feeling ability, and it is something that we work through in the course. It takes a little bit of time. That's why my classes are a little bit longer. If I teach you how to trance channel in a week or a month, uh, I promise you it will not be part of your regular life, and it'll be a fun class that you take and you'll not do it after that. But if you take my longer class, you should be able to do it forever. I mean, you could do it in the fast class too if you have the ability to get past your own self-doubt, if you have the ability to work without a mentor on it for months to come, or if you're on top of it, you're practicing and you're also scheduling sessions with a mentor to really dig deep into what's happening. But I like to put it all together so it's sort of a mentor package of learning, and it goes over 6 months. We do one spirit guide a month and an extra one. So we do the 5 main spirit guides and then the gatekeeper. So I'm going to trance channel some of them for you today. So for instance, when I trance channel my joy guide, Fred, he's a Fae polar bear. That's what I'll trance channel next, or first, I should say. That's what I'll trance channel first for you. He is a polar bear and he's a Fae being, very interesting, right? And when I trance channel him, I'm going to let him speak through me. So I feel like I'm taking a back seat and he's going to speak through me. And what does it feel like to me? This is not a how-to. Obviously, there's a lot more to learning to trance channel, especially protections and understanding of how to do it. But it feels like I'm floating and listening to him talk through me. And though I'm listening, because I don't go too far, because I'm too curious. Now you can go farther, and that's something to practice. If you're already a trance channel, to just go deeper and practice going farther out of your body. But I'm too curious. I want to know what he's going to say. I don't want to watch the video later, but I may have to, because when you do trance channel, sometimes you can't remember anything. It's just gone. You think you're going to remember it and you don't. Why does that happen? Because it's not originating from your thoughts and your brain. The things you're saying, they may sound like you because they're using your thoughts and they've been a part of you for so long. You've been channeling them whether you know it or not. So they do sound like you because actually you sound like them because they've been telling you these things. And the longer you're a channel, the more you're going to think your spirit guides sound like you because now you just sound like them because they've given you this advice so much that it's now part of you and you're giving it to people even without channeling. But anyway, it feels to me like I'm listening and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And sometimes I'm like, ooh, I didn't know that, even if I trance channel some other beings, especially. And then and I feel like I'm floating. It feels weird. Sometimes I can feel them, like I can feel their hand. Like, for instance, I'll be trance channeling a polar bear next. So, and he's a type of Fae guide. And I'll feel him in my hands, maybe, or I might feel like my body's different or that I'm taller and I might be sitting different. Sometimes I feel like, woo, it changes, and then it always feels a little bit different, each guide. So I don't channel them all the same way also, which is kind of interesting. So here, let me bring forth Fred Polar Bear. This is the Joy Guide. This is your main guide well, not your main guide, but one of your main guides, your inner band of guides. This guide helps you get messages. It helps you remember to find joy in your life. So they're called the Joy Guide. Often they are Fae, but not always. Mine, of course, is Fae because, I'm so Fae. So they help you bring messages like I was talking about earlier from other guides or from other clients or from other people as well. So let me bring him in and have him talk to you. Now, when I teach the Joy Guide month, when we do TAG Trance Channeling Mediumship, we do 1 month for each guide. And when we do the Joy Guide month, we work on trance channeling and we work on relay channeling, which is what I was talking about earlier, where you hear the message and then you give it. So let me try that first. I'm going to ask him to give you a message and I'm going to repeat it. That's relay channeling. And then I'll trance channel him. He says that everything that you need or want in this world is already inside you, and that all you need to do is align with it and bring it out. So that was interesting. He gave me the first half of that sentence. As soon as I started speaking it, the rest just came out of me. I had no idea the end of the sentence was going to be like that. So it's interesting for some people, especially those who talk a lot, like me, then once you start giving the message, it might start expanding. It's expanding. And suddenly you're giving this whole message. You're like, where did that come from? It's like I was speaking and I didn't even realize what the next word was going to say, almost like I was saying it, but it's nothing I would say, or it's not something I really know about. How did I do that? If you find yourself doing that, then you're probably trance channeling already. That's sort of an in between of channeling and trance channeling, right? Because I started with repeating, but then it just came right out of me. So it's kind of like a very light trance channel. Now I'm going to go much deeper and let him talk through me. So here we go. Let me change this for a second so you can see better. And I'd love to hear from you. If you're here, write me a little comment so I know that you're here. All right, here we go. I am a joy guide, and like the word says, it is exactly what I'm here for, to expand on joy as a constant reminder of why you're here. We want you, as joy guides, we want you to remember that this life is supposed to be full of joy. Of course, in higher dimensions, there's much more joy to be found. And here on earth, it's a little harder to find. And so you have a guide who is here to just remind you of that, to remind you of joy and why it's important and how to find it, and not to spiritually bypass on negativity, but to work through it to find joy. And we also, yes, help with messages, help you pull in messages. And yes, everyone is channeling, everyone is bringing messages through. And when you are a clear vessel and you bring through messages of light, then you are fulfilling part of your duties or your goals as a human on earth. For you are here because you are a light worker. That is why you're listening to this program at this time. And so we want you to know that you are supposed to channel in some way, maybe very lightly for yourself, but you should be able to receive messages. And we want to help you with that. You felt kind of preachery that time. Okay, so I was really paying attention to how I felt during that so I could really describe it. Oh, there you are. Hi, everyone. This is how I would describe that. I felt, you couldn't see my hands, but he was like using my hands and talking like that. And I can't even do it, but and I felt a little floaty, like behind my eyes almost. I felt like I was like, woo, like he was between me and you, and he was talking, and I was just like listening to him. And a few times I thought I knew where he was going to go, and he went in a different direction. He said something different than I thought, and that was really interesting, right? All right. And now I do feel full of joy. Now, when he talked about that joy that we're supposed to feel, oh, that felt so good. Now I feel like, I feel very joyful right now. So I love that. Okay, so let's talk about the protector guide. Your protector guide, now that I'm such in a good mood now. So the protector guide is your protector being. So all of your spirit guides want to protect you, but this is like your main protection guy or gal, okay? Mine is Archangel Gabriel. First came to me as a being who was more Native American looking, and he said his name was Crouching Bear, and that's who I've been channeling for years and years. And then last year or this year, he up-leveled, and I do talk about how to up-level your guides if you want to check out my blog and my podcast. Of course, I talked about it before, but when you bring through your guides and then you up-level them, then they may become a higher version of themselves. And so now my protector guide is Archangel Gabriel, which is wonderful. I love Archangel Gabriel, always felt close to him. And I was so surprised and thrilled to find that out. So I'm going to go ahead and trance channel him. Now, when we do the protector guide in class, we bring through let me show you, we bring through a protection symbol and a personal protection symbol. Well, yeah, so something, I was going to show you mine, but now he's telling me not to show it in such a public place. So I'm not going to. I show it in my class, but he gives you a symbol and we download it in class and we use that symbol for extra protection. And I have mine in my room. I have it written with a nice gold pen on a pretty little rock behind me. And I use it all the time in many ways. I visualize it. I use it definitely. And it's very cool. So that's one of the ways that we use the protector guide in the class to do something besides trance channeling, because I like the classes to really cover just about everything we could channel. So, okay, here we go. I'm going to have him talk to you. I am Archangel Gabriel. Many of you know me very well as one of the main 4 archangels that are known through this planet. You will know me or some version of me in your own team, most likely. And even if you don't, you will call on me, for I am very busy with helping humans. The version of me here speaking through this medium is an aspect of me that is purely a spirit guide for this woman. And when you have a spirit guide in your protector corner, this is an aspect of this guide who is here for you and you only. And so, of course, there are infinite versions of me, and we are all one. But again, you and I are one. All of us are one, for we are all parts of the one. When it comes to protection, it is important that you learn. Learn about protection, learn about your discernment of protection, learn about how it works for you, learn how to feel and discern energy, truth versus falsities, clear versus unclear, light versus dark. And this is important. And we help you with that by allowing you to go through some unpleasant times in spirituality. Sometimes we allow you to be attacked when you are ready for it, and when it is time for you to learn of a chink in your armor, a place where you are not protecting, or something that is keeping you behind, a block, a fear. For we must help you eliminate fear. If you wish to get as far as you can, as high as you can in your vibrational state in this ascension time, if that is something that you wish for, then we need to help you get there by shining a light on what is still in fear, what is still in doubt, what is still plaguing you. And once you see these for what they are, and you look them in the eye and you go through it and you release them and they are gone, now your protection is strong, because you are not allowing fear to penetrate your shields or your mind or your heart. It's Rachel. This is Rachel. I'm back. Oh, that was really nice. Alex says, I think my protector guide is a Yeti. That's hilarious. Yeah, so I thought that was interesting. Okay. Now, you've heard me channel Archangel Ariel so many times. She is my master teacher guide. So this is the only guide in your immediate guides, your inner band of guides, who isn't just for you. So if you heard Archangel Gabriel, he said, this is an aspect of me that is just Rachel's spirit guide. He called me this woman, which I thought was weird. Something I would never say about myself. This woman. Anyway, I thought that was funny. Anyway, He's only works for me, right? He's just my guide. And so he's an aspect of himself. And of course, these beings can make many aspects of themselves. So but so he's just mine. But Archangel Ariel, or as I know her from before she upgraded to Ariel when she was Ruth, Ruth from the Bible, who I had to look up because I grew up Catholic. So of course I know nothing about the Bible because I just went to, I was just kind of thrown into Catholic school or not Catholic school, Catholic church, and I never paid attention or anything. So I had to go check it out. But anyway, luckily I read red tint, so it gave me some sort of clue who she was. But so Ruth from the Bible, that's who she was first. And then she upgraded to Ariel, and you've heard me channel Ariel. So I thought I'd channel Ruth for you today. But your master teacher guide also has other subjects. So this is like a higher version of this being, Ariel, Ruth, who has many charges. Meaning she has many people that she helps. But she's also my master teacher guide, which means she's in charge of all my other teachers, and she's my main guide. So if you ever hear anyone say, someone is my main guide, then that's who they're talking about, the master teacher guide. Excuse me, but it is so important to drink lots of water. You've got to drink lots of water as a channel or a healer, or you're going to get very tired. And my guides make me stop and chug water all the time. Okay. So I'm so used to bringing through Archangel Ariel for you. Today, I'm going to bring through Ruth because their personalities are different. Okay. So maybe she'll tell you a little bit. Now, when we channel in the class that I teach, the trance channeling class, when we channel our master teacher guide, this is the only class where we don't have a second thing so much. Actually, we do now. What am I saying? Okay, sorry. I forgot I did find something. Usually what we do is we ask our master teacher guide to deeply talk to us and tell us what we are supposed to be doing. What is our light path? So we ask our master teacher guide, tell us about our light path. What are we supposed to be doing in this life? What do we need to know? Like, help us with this. And so what we do besides the trance channeling is that we work on the inner dialogue with guides. So we think about how to begin speaking with our guides in our head so that you don't need to trance channel to get that information for yourself. So if you're not already doing this, to consciously start speaking in your head to your guides. And this is called the inner dialogue, or that's what I call it. And just developing that more is what we do in the month that we work with the master teacher. Okay, so let me channel Ruth and see what she has to say. And I just want to say that the first time I met Ruth, I was like in total awe. It's like she was so gorgeous. She was so incredible. Her spirit. I actually thought she was like a fairy goddess at first. She was like this like light green, just beautiful red hair. I don't know what Ruth is supposed to look like. This could be her higher self, but she was just unbelievably beautiful. I was like, whoa, who is this incredible being? She's like shining light. And then, then I found out who she was. She was Ruth. Okay. I am so pleased to speak with you today and to let you know that your life and your path and where you are on it is exactly where you are supposed to be at this time. There is no wrong turn that doesn't bring you back to the right path. Taking wrong turns sometimes will shortcut you to the right path because there are so many lessons that can be learned. It is very important when you feel that you've messed up, that you really stop and step away from any shame or blame that you could pile on yourself, or it is not necessary and causes more harm than good. And instead ask yourself, why do you think this has happened? Why do you think you were allowed by your spirit guides, who protect and love you every second of the day, to experience this? Why do you think it happened? Is there something to be learned? Is there something here that I need to look into to see if it's a reoccurring pattern or something unhealed? And here are the questions you ask yourself. And if you can get to the bottom of it, and you can begin to do your shadow work and release it, well, then your problem is short-lived. We have allowed you to experience this negative action in your life so that you can deeply heal yourself. And once you have, you're stronger than ever before. And now you're more ready for what we wish to open up for you. If you're out there saying, I wish that my clairvoyance would open more. I wish my channeling would open more. I wish I could do more, see more, feel more, or receive more, then perhaps there is some work that you must do. So when you are facing this any problem in your life and you find what it is that's causing the problem and you release it, now we say, okay, she's ready. Now we give her more. Now we allow her to open this gift more because now she's reached a place where she can handle it. And that's really where we are at. We want to make sure that we're not giving you more in your gifts that you're not ready to handle. So you must conquer your fear. You must work on your shadows, as everyone must on earth, as this is what you agreed to do. And as you do, you'll find the reason. And as you get past it and your gifts begin to open up, as you begin to trust yourself more, that's when you will see that all of the problems in your past were there for a reason, and you have conquered them with great success. And if you can think about that right now, then you will see that any problem in your life right now is not only conquerable, but is not something to be ashamed of, not something to be down on yourself, but instead to look at as something that you can use, a stepping stone to get where you'd like to go. That's Ruth. Kivin says, I sometimes ask for my life purpose, but they would never tell me. It is sometimes hard to get your own messages from your guides. And that's another great reason to learn to trance channel, because since you leave your body a bit, that they can bring forth more and you can sometimes get a better answer. So sometimes if I really need an answer for myself and I'm not able to really bring it through because of my ego or because of my wants or because of my inability to go into 0 point energy for myself, which is what I was talking about earlier, it's really hard to do it for yourself, then I will turn on a recorder and I will trance channel and I'll go as deep, deep, deep as I can and record it and play it back. And you should always play it back because you'll think you said something and then you'll find out you said something else. It's very interesting. Another great thing to do is channel writing. And when we work with our Dr. Teacher Guide in my trance channeling course, then that's what we also do is we do channeled writing or automatic writing, as you might call it. So I can't tell you how many classes I took on automatic writing. So many classes. So many classes. And I could not do it. I tried everything. I would get a whole page of scribble and one word like peace or something was really stupid, or like, I felt it was stupid, like, ugh. So I one time tried doing it after I met my Dr. Teacher Guide. The woman who taught me to trance channel, we did a class together and we did a class on meeting your doctor teacher and learning to channel write. And it was her idea. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. We should combine those two things. Okay, let's do it. And then suddenly I was channel writing like crazy. And it was really neat. So I learned that by doing that the doctor teacher is great with channel writing. So I put that together in my own class because I think it's really nice to be able to channel write. You don't need a whole lot of, fancy protections. You can just call in your angels as always and just start writing. You can do it anywhere. Of course, I can channel anywhere, but you want to build up to that sort of ability. And it's just easy. Sometimes, it's bypassing the step of like channeling and then writing it down, taking notes. You're just going straight to, you need an answer, you're going to channel write that. So that's something that we do quite a lot. And I won't demonstrate, it'll take too long. And I'm sure you've seen much of my channeled writing. I put them in my emails all the time. Okay, so let me just channel Mother Ezra is her name. She is my doctor teacher. She's a shaman and she's super cool. She says she's not from this planet Earth, but she does look like a very old African woman. The first time she came to me, all I saw was her eye, but she was an elephant, and it was like all wrinkly, very old, this elephant eye. And every time I talked, she said, "My name is Mother." And every time I brought her through, Mother, it was just this elephant eye. And then one day, that elephant turned into this old woman with very dark and wrinkly skin. And yeah, she's a shaman, and she's very joyful as well. And I'll channel her, and this time I'll remember again to tell you what it felt like. Okay. So, Dr. Teacher Guide, Mother Ezra. This is my guide, obviously. Your Dr. Teacher will be someone else. Oh, and really popular. It's not like you're making them up, but it's like really popular guides are Jesus, Mary Magdalene, and Merlin are really, yeah, I see those a lot in the Dr. Teacher. Or it could just be someone you never heard of, and that's great too. But your Dr. Teacher Guide is your doctor of philosophy and helps you figure out like what's the next class to take, or what book you should read, or what you should learn. They're kind of like they kind of help you find the ability, the steps. So like if you wanted to trance channel and you were looking at different classes and you stumbled upon me, and here I am talking about my class, then, that might be your Dr. Teacher saying, "Hey, look at this. Here's a class you could take." And then if you felt like, "Oh my gosh, I really want to take this," then that would be your Dr. Teacher going, "This is you," or like if a book falls off the shelf and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I was just thinking about this. This is just the book I need." Or it just opens to a certain page and you're like, "Oh my gosh, that page was exactly what I needed. That is so crazy. It just opened to that page." That's your Dr. Teacher Guide trying to help you out. Or that song that you hear on the radio or streaming, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, the words to this song couldn't be more perfect." That's your Dr. Teacher Guide. So here's mine, Mother Ezra. Ezra. I have a hard time saying it. Hello and peace to you all. I am Mother Ezra, and many just call me Mother, for I have lived an eternity, and I spend this brief time of this human's life, which is not brief, but brief to eternity, as her Dr. Teacher Guide. And I have lived all over the cosmos as both a guide and other incarnations of higher dimensional help. I am a teacher at heart, and I am here in Rachel's life to help her work with shamanic energies. Therefore, I come as a shaman myself, as I have been in many incarnations. I come to say to you all that your life is exactly what you make of it. How are you making your life as peaceful and as joyful as it can be? Do you find that it is hard to find joy and peace in your life? And you know how to make changes to do so, but you find yourself unable or unwilling to make those changes. If so, then you must see that you need outside help. You need someone to guide you, to help you. And here we are, your teachers, your helpers, your spirit guides. We'd like to help you move forward. And so, to meet us, to channel us, to receive our information, that is a game changer for you. And we ask you to meet us in whatever way you can. This is Rachel. I do have a Dr. Teacher meditation on my YouTube channel, Sound Waves Heal, and you can find it pretty easily in the free Spirit Guide channeling course that I give away, which is at the very top of my website, soundwavesheal.com. You can find it. It's also at soundwavesheal.com/spirit guides. And that's a whole course about learning how to channel your spirit guides. Is totally free, because I do believe that, This is really important. Okay, I'm going to channel one more for you, and I'll answer any questions that you have about trance channeling if you wish. This is my alchemist guide. His name is Ephraim. Ephraim. He's an elf. Ephraim. He's an elf named Ephraim, and he's my alchemist spirit guide. You can say he is my chemist guide or my healer guide. These are other, words for this type of spirit guide. In my course, we work on bringing through healing from the alchemist guide. And the first time that I channeled healing, besides Reiki or light language, was with my alchemist guide, Ephraim. And I realized, oh my goodness, I could just do sound healing like this. I don't have to learn every tiny bit of science to do sound healing. I can just channel beings who will do sound healing through me. And of course, as you know, that's what I do. So let me channel Ephraim. Now, I didn't tell you what it felt like to channel Mother, did I? When I channeled Mother, I just felt again like I was in the back seat, and I felt a lot of joy. But I really want to tell you what it feels like to channel Ephraim, because he's really cool. When I channel Ephraim, first of all, I feel like my hands get really long. And as you can see, I don't have nails. I cut them short, but I feel like my nails get long and oval. And then I feel like I get very tall and I feel very elfy. I feel like I'm already an elf. Is that my elf ear for you there? Okay, so let me channel Ephraim and we'll see. We'll see what he has to say. He used to never talk for people, but I've had to channel him so many times because I've taught the class so many times that now he comes through a little bit more. All right. Greetings. I'm so pleased to come forward for you and speak to you about trance healing. This is the ability to bring healing through from a being that you know and who are connected to you. And a great way to learn how to trance heal is to begin with your alchemist guide, who is a healer and who contains an ability to heal that is very much like yours, because we are you and you are us. And you'll also see some commonality between your healer guide and yourself, as you may see between that I am an elf and that Rachel has a lot of elf-like fae qualities. And with your alchemist guide, you can bring forward any type of healing. Of course, as sound healing is so easy to produce through this channel, who is a singer, it is the most preferred method that any guide or being of light chooses to use through this vessel. And so I will bring you a healing through sound to help you connect more fully with your spirit guides. Maya Torio Kuchutisaya Honariate. Hayalako do yodo yamaya hanaristisiariane. Hayulagatisi. Hayanako tutisai miana kolayati amaya. Hayanoko tusiaya lakiana. Ayoloha hayokokotu ayolaki amanakosti ayamanioko ayolokritisi ami ayolakosti amana ayoloku yamanaraki asarikarakosti. Okay, this is Rachel. That was strong. Okay, what did that feel like? It was interesting. When he was bringing through the language, light language, or what I would call liquid Reiki healing, because that's what I call my healing. It's kind of a mixture of channeling a certain being, any being, like he was saying, trance healing, and light language, and Reiki, and trancing. So it's kind of a mixture of everything. But I felt like he turned to one side and brought in, and I saw this like block of light codes, and he was bringing it through, and then he brought in this and he brought in that. And I did feel like my hands got long, and he felt tall, and he felt very interesting. And whenever I trance channel, I feel a little bit high. Okay. So I feel a little bit like, woo, I'm just floating there. I feel like really vibration-y. Like it feels very cool. You can see how it can get addicting. It's really fun to do. And then, of course, you have to also be grounded and clear to trance channel. Really important. You'll hear me say that 1,000 times if you ever take my class. So that is basically what it's like for trance channeling. And like I said before, when people are afraid that if they bring in a being and that they won't be able to hold that being in, um, sorry, I said that backwards. Let me start again. When people are afraid that if they bring in a being and they won't be able to get them out, remember earlier I said that's usually because it's a negative being. A spirit being will get out like that. It's really the opposite. Holding the being in your body to trance channel them is hard. That's something you have to practice. It's like practicing building up your ability, building up your endurance. You have to um, each time make the trance channel longer so that you can hold this being in your body longer, hold that energy. And holding the energy is usually what it feels like when you're a beginner and you're trance channeling it. What it feels like is you've got to hold this energy so that this being can stay here and keep talking through you. And it's sometimes hard. And so doing it for a long time does take some practice. Although there are some people I've taught who are, so fast and they channel for a long, long time. And it's really cool. They start out that way. But most people take a little time to really do that. So that's kind of what it feels like. But I'd love to answer any questions. Hi, Joanne. I'm glad to see you here. Oh, there seems to be some sort of problem with it must be a StreamYard problem. Okay. So anyway, if you have any questions, I'd love to answer them. And if you have any questions later, then please put them in the comments. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. Make sure you're subscribed. And you might notice that I have some memberships, such as Tier 1. Oops, I can't show anything. Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. And if you're in Tier 2, if you're in Tier 1, you get a couple of extra little things, especially you can get early. You can see some of my videos early. You don't have to wait for them to post. And higher than that, you get extra videos. And then, of course, you get even more, like you get readings in Tier 3 and things like that. So, and they're very, very inexpensive, from $2.99 to $9.99. So you should totally check that out on my Sound Waves Heal page on YouTube. And then, of course, I have a big membership, TAG membership, where we work all the time on lots of things. And you get a huge library and weekly sessions with mediums, and it's live sessions like webinars like this, and get readings and healings and things like that. That's really fun. And we always are working on something. So this month and next month we're working on Ascended Masters. And what are we working on? We're working on a lot, kind of a higher level of loving ourselves, staying in our body, really upgrading our self mastery. So it's like a little bit past self-love, a little bit past self-trust, and just like really feeling at home in this beautiful life that we've built, and working on more, just a little bit past picking the highest timeline, and really, because that's what we worked on last. So really kind of plugging that in, which is cool. So here's some questions, although it keeps knocking me out when I put them on like that. Thank you, Joanne. And Kevin, oh, here it's working again. Kevin says, if you had to pick, would you choose conscious channeling or trance channeling and why? So I just love trance channeling. I mean, they're both easy. I'm assuming conscious channeling, you mean just relay channeling, what I was talking about earlier, where you receive the message and give it. So I do a mixture of both constantly. I'm always channeling some messages forward or hearing what they're saying, or, they help me with speaking. Um, it makes it easier to kind of fly by the seat of my pants a little bit. I mean, I do have like something that I've written out, I did prepare for this, but it is easier when you have your guides like kind of feeding you information and telling you some things to say and trying to help you. That's what I do every time I go live. So if that's what you mean by relay channeling, then I do it a lot all the time, but I love trance channeling is the most, because I'm truly leaving and letting them speak through me. And I'm truly just like listening to them talk and learning from each trance channel that I do. And also, like I said, it makes you feel really good. It does kind of feel like you're a little bit high. It's kind of a natural high. And it's really fun. So definitely trance channeling. So hello. So hi everyone who's come. Oops. Goodness, I don't know what's happening with this. Anyway, thank you so much for watching Inside the Trance, the energetics of channeling, which is what I've been doing here for you. And I hope that you enjoyed all the guides. And if you have any questions, you can put them in the comments for later. I'll certainly check and answer them. And I just want to say that if you are interested in learning trance channeling, well, guess what? I have a Black Friday deal, and it's $600 off, and you can join my trance channeling class. And of course, you can join anytime, but I'm just saying I did this package last year. I can't put it up. And it was really popular, and I thought I'd do it one more year. So I'll be sending that out in an email today and putting it on my events page, hopefully today or tomorrow. And so you'll see it at Facebook events. You'll see it on my soundwavesheal.com/events. You'll find it easily. Believe me, I'll be putting it out there on my social medias. And the way that I usually do it is this. It's a Black Friday deal. It goes live midnight Black Friday. However, if you want, you can sign up to get the waiting list, and I'll send you a few emails that says 3 days until, 2 days until, 1 day until, and then, hey, it's live. Here's the link. And the first 5 people, actually the first 15 people will get extra sessions, will win something for free. So that's pretty fun. Let me see if I can see. The first 5 shoppers that buy it will get a free 30-minute session or 3 free months in TAG. The second 5 shoppers get a free 15-minute recorded session or 2 free months in TAG. And the third 5 shoppers who buy a package, because I have 2 packages, get a free mini session or a free month in TAG. So I have 2 packages. The Black Friday deal number 1 is a 1-to-1 manifesting advancement. And so that one is, let's see. That one you can use to do anything. You can learn to channel. Let me start over. The advancement course is about, you get a couple of things. You get all my stickers. So you get 3 packages of my frequency stickers from Etsy: Angelic Peace and Calm, 4th Dimensional Shield, and Financial Abundance, and Luck. Those are the 3 stickers. And you'll get a whole sheet of 10 of each. Plus you get my Fae cards, my manifesting Fae cards. If you've ever seen them, they're called Elemental Magic and Manifestation. They'll be mailed to you as well. And then actually, yeah. Oh, I just realized the sticker thing might be a problem if you live in another country, but I'll figure it out. And then you get 3 60-minute 1-to-1 teaching sessions. Now, teaching sessions are a little bit different than a regular session. I usually don't teach outside of classes. So this is a pretty good deal that you get 3 of these. You can learn to trance channel. You can be attuned to light language. You can be attuned and connect to elementals. You could do live meditations for healing and highest timeline work, or you could learn to do divination or improve divination. You can learn how to use oracle cards. I'll teach you anything you want to know that I teach, as long as you're qualified to learn. For instance, I'll teach you how to do some of my psychic healing techniques, as long as you are attuned to Reiki at that level so that you can use them. And we can work on attuning to your highest timeline, personal meditations, live light language manifesting sigils, things like that. Just whatever you want. This is beyond what I normally do in a session, and is mainly something that I reserve for sessions. So it's some cool stuff that I came up with for my Black Friday deals. And again, if you get on the waiting list, you can buy it early. So you can buy it like Wednesday evening, and you'll have a better chance of being one of the first 15 shoppers that you win free prizes. And also, you won't have to wait till Black Friday, so you can sleep in and not worry about it. Joanne says, the stickers are great. I don't know why the screen's not working. But anyway, thank you guys so much. And thanks for listening to me talk about that. That's my Black Friday specials. And I hope you like it. So thanks for coming. Thanks so much for watching me. I really appreciate it. I've been on here for an hour, so it's kind of a long one. I hope you enjoyed all the channeling, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye. Thanks. Thank you for watching. I'm Rachel Chamness at soundwavesheal.com. I love to help lightworkers trans-channel messages, light, and healing in higher dimensions. If you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and follow on social media. And consider checking out my TAG Lightworkers monthly mentorship program.